this shit. Tell them crackers I bleed the fifth. Bring that fire like Prometheus. I ain't tripping off that measly shit. Debba keep the fifth. Malak just got some bullets they heat seeking shit.
Alright, first and foremost, what do you call Hello Yahweh? Sheh HaMashiach Yahweh Shai. All praise to the Most High, Heavenly Father. In the name of His only begotten Son, who the world we call Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai. Way to reach the downfall of Babylon the Great, which is America. And peace, and prosperity, and salvation to the 12 tribes of Israel, scattered abroad in America, known as the so-called Black Native Americans. Our message is pretty simple. People have been going on for quite some time, having them return, obey the Most High, come back to the nationality, and keep the commandments, man. Because the end is definitely near. The end is definitely coming, and you don't want to get caught up in destruction, period. Give me that.
Psalms 32:10. Many sorrows shall be to the wicked.
Many what?
Sorrows shall be to the wicked.
Many sorrows shall be to the wicked. There's sorrows going on in the days right now with the quote-unquote jab and things like that. People actually getting the disease, dying left and right, having more issues after taking a quote-unquote cure for it. There's people dying for getting the cure. How does that work? That's a sorrow according to the Most High. That's a plague on the earth. Go ahead.
But he that trusteth in the Most High,
he that trusteth in the Most High, yeah, I'll read.
Mercy shall compass him about.
Mercy will compass him about. There's plenty of people that I know that had the quote-unquote COVID thing and bounced back, especially in our group, particularly. Guess what? People that don't want to feed the Most High, return to his heritage that he gave us, there's going to be sorrows to you, man. Or you want to pretend like you're an Israelite, portray yourself as an Israelite online, things like that, and do things behind closed doors. The Most High going to make it manifest. He's going to judge you according to your work. Give me that. Is that it? Give me that one. Give me 2nd Ezra 4:23.
This is Psalms 25:10. All the paths of Yahweh are mercy and truth.
All the paths of Yahweh are mercy and truth. Why?
Unto such as keep his covenant.
Unto such as keep his covenant. We enter the covenant, keep the laws of God, read.
And his testimony.
And his testimony. All the prophecies, everything that's prophesied about Christ to come and redeem us. Most High said it from the beginning. Hey, we got to keep the covenant. We fell away, now it's time to come back to the covenant, and then we're going to be redeemed, and then we're going to be perfect, and inside of the Most High be cleansed. Give me that Isaiah the 1st chapter real quick. Is that it? And then be Jeremiah 15:5. Hold there real quick.
Isaiah 1:16. Isaiah 1:16. Wash ye, make you clean.
Talking about the nation of Israel. Wash you, make you clean. How do you wash, make yourself clean? Like it says in Ephesians the 5th chapter, by the washing of water by the word. Read.
Put away the evil of your doings.
Put away the evil of our doings. Sin. Pretty simple. There's a multitude of sins that people commit every day, unwillingly and willingly, thinking they know the Most High God, thinking they know Jesus Christ, who the world calls Christ. In all actuality, as an Israelite, you don't know God unless you keep His commandments. You don't know sin unless you know what the law means, or know what the law says. Excuse me. Read.
Put away the evil of your doings.
Don't want that video at all.
You seen that that's what cops are doing? When people are recording them, that they're playing videos so that the video gets striked and they can't upload it.
Isaiah 1:16. Wash ye, make you clean. Put away the evil of your doings from before my eyes.
Read.
Cease to do evil.
Cease to do evil. Isn't that fair? The Most High give you mercy for doing His will, following His commandments. But our people want to do the opposite. We want to do evil because it's cool in the eyes of people that don't care about us for the most part. That put us in this predicament. But we've been doing it for so long, we think it's natural, it's normal. Just like, I don't know, I was up late last night because I get off at 4. I'm watching Chief and Captain go in, talking about being positive is not as corny as it used to be no more. Preaching positivity, preaching people to turn from doing dumb stuff in the hood. Now people that's in the hood is like, man, people that did all the type of gangster stuff back in the day, you're not cool no more. Only to the young crowd, only people that don't know no better. The older people that already been there, done that lived a certain lifestyle before, they know there's no benefit into it. And that's what we gotta learn. Like, there's no benefit in doing wickedness in this earth.
Right.
Whether you know the laws or not, there's no benefit to it. Keeping the laws of God, being righteous, being on the upright side of things, as far as being at peace within your own soul and spirit, and being peaceful to your own people, there's no other thing that's greater. That's how you get better. Read.
Learn to do well.
Learn to do well. Read.
Seek judgment.
Seek judgment. Go ahead.
Relieve the oppressed. Judge the fatherless.
Go ahead.
Plead for the widow.
Plead for the widow. Read on.
Come now and let us reason together.
We gotta reason with our people, man.
Kneel.
Every day. Whether it's online, whether it's in person, whether it's on our job, whatever the case may be. Our people gotta learn to do well and reason together. We can come together over time if we understand where we're coming from. But at the end of the day, most High gonna see fit to who comes to this walk as well. But we still gotta be that light that Yahweh talked about that's on the mantle to show our people, hey, there's a benefit in this walk. There's no reason to hide and do things under the shadows. So you gonna get away with it because the Most High sees all, and your spirit gonna bear with it today how you walk. Read.
Come now and let us reason together, said the Lord.
Read.
Though your sins be as scarlet,
Or sins be as scarlet, covered in wicked blood, shedding blood that are innocent. Read.
they shall be as white as snow.
We're gonna be white as snow. We're talking about when we cleanse. That's the true cleansing spiritually, having that circumcised heart, that heart of flesh, coming into the covenant. That's what it's talking about. The Most High is going to allow it to happen after all His prophecies come to pass. Go ahead.
Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool.
They're gonna be as wool. Perfect. That's without spot, as Yahushua was. Read.
If ye be willing and obedient,
Be willing and obedient. The prophets are out here now preaching the truth, telling you what to do. If you want to be willing and obedient, listen back to the Most High's word, because we're only vessels. Anybody can be up here doing it, but out here in 65th Mission San Francisco, the SICARII is doing it right now. Read.
ye shall eat the good of the land.
We're going to eat the good of our land. Back in Tare, like I was wanting to. Back when the temple gets rebuilt, we're going to be there prospering and flourishing, rulings of the nations, man. In righteousness. Is that it? Go ahead.
But
Yeah, go ahead.
but if ye refuse
But if you refuse, 2/3 of it's going to refuse. Read.
and rebel,
And rebel, like we're doing ever since we left Egypt. Read.
ye shall be devoured with the
We're
sword.
going to be devoured with the sword, left and right, every day. There's good and bad that happen every day to Israelites. The main thing we're aware of is the negative things. But there's positive things if we do well and want to hearken to be obedient to the Most High's prophets and His words and His laws. Well, we took a covenant too, like I referenced before. Read.
For the mouth of the Lord has spoken
The
it.
mouth of the Lord has spoken it. Yahweh has spoken it. The creator of heaven and earth. Whether you believe it or not, hey, you're on this earth simply due to the Most High Yahweh, whether you're heathen or not. But the Most High sent out His prophets to teach the children of Israel first, because we're going to be the ones to be redeemed out of Babylon the Great, and wherever we are scattered. Is that it? Go ahead.
Now, this is Psalms 25 and 14. The secret of Yahweh is with them that fear Him,
Go ahead.
and He will show them His covenant.
He's going to show them His covenant. The covenant is already written. The new covenant is written in the old covenant. It's all for the same people. It's your job to get right before the judgment day, like I said. But guess what? Some people are going to refuse. Some people are going to have to die to learn their lesson. And give me Jude, the first chapter, 23rd verse. Go ahead and read that.
2nd Ezra 4:23.
Uh-huh.
For it was not my mind to be curious of the high thing,
Uh-huh.
but of such as pass by us daily,
Read.
namely, wherefore Israel is given up as a reproach to the heathen.
Yeah, Jesus giving up as a reproach to the heathen because we want to disobey the laws of God. Period. We want to serve idols. But this is talking about Ezra, talking about it wasn't my mind to seek out the high places. It's talking about where the idols were in the land. Read.
And for what cause the people whom thou hast loved is given over to ungodly nations,
Talking about the Israelites given to ungodly nations, mainly America in these last days. Read on.
and why the law of our forefathers is brought to naught.
The laws our forefathers brought to naught. How? Because we don't keep it no more. We don't give a damn about it. We want to be like everybody else and sin and wickedness. Read.
And the written covenants come to none effect.
And that written covenants come into effect. We're not righteous no more. We don't have the blessings that are written in the laws of God under the covenant. What did you say? Excuse me? Nah, we're not with that. We're for racism.
Right.
Are you for racism? Come closer, I can't hear you. What does racism mean?
I just see it as what everybody
What is it?
race hate each other.
That's not what it means.
I don't want to be up there.
Being a racist means I prefer my people above everybody else.
Right.
That's all it means. So it's not about hating anybody. I love my black, Hispanic, and American people above white people, period.
Right.
That's what it is. White people actually practice a form of racism of hate. What are you? What's your father? What's your father? Come closer.
Yeah, I don't want to be on camera.
It don't matter.
But I would like to hear,
What's your father though?
he's Puerto Rican, but he's adopted, so he doesn't, I don't think he knows anything else. But he is white Puerto Rican.
So you don't know your legit father right now?
What?
You don't know your blood father?
Yes, I do, but
He was adopted. But he told you he's Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, listen.
I don't understand if you guys aren't for racism, then how can you be?
What'd you say?
You said you're for racism.
Of course.
And
But it doesn't mean what you're referencing. That's what I'm saying.
right. So I just always known as for those things. One
Give me
race, another race.
7921.
You know?
Our people are supposed to come first. I'm not sure if you're familiar with, quote unquote, Black Lives Matter and all that garbage. Like, our people are known for trying to help everybody else. You familiar with that? Black people are coming in the face of a white person or Asian person or anybody before their own people. Meanwhile, we're killing each other. We're selling drugs to each other. We're pimping our own people. Women, per se. Aborting our own babies. That's not a beneficial act. That's crazy. More people die in the womb that's quote unquote black and Hispanic than anybody else. There's millions of people that die in the womb. So that's how you gotta love each other first. Racism just means I prefer my people over everybody else. So if I prefer my people over everybody else, I'm gonna teach them, hey, do better. I don't care what the white man's doing. I don't care what the Asian's doing, the Arab doing. I want to worry about my people first.
But is that beneficial to focus on that first?
What's that?
Is that beneficial to focus on that first?
Absolutely.
Does everybody have that, you see a lot of people that probably think that that's a negative thing when they meet you. When you say that first.
I mean, why would it be negative though?
Huh?
Why would it be negative? White people don't look to us first.
You might have to explain it first, right?
But here's the thing. Would you consider yourself white? Caucasian? Okay, so do white people put other races before themselves?
See, that's the thing. I don't like to. I don't like to be a judge by what another man has.
It doesn't matter, but it's reality though, right?
Right.
It's
But I
reality.
don't.
So just in the justice system alone,
Right.
if a white man goes to the court, that judge is going to have leniency on him.
That's a sad thing.
But that's a reality though, right? If a black man goes to court, they're going to throw the book at him for the most part. It doesn't matter about you. We're talking about the majority of your people. So that's just one aspect. So I'm saying, as far as even in business, even in job searching, you guys are already in charge. So of course you're gonna put somebody that looks like you ahead of a black person because first and foremost, you're not comfortable being next to black people, not just you personally, but white people in general. They don't like being next to black people. They're uncomfortable with it.
Right, and things like that I can't.
That's
what I said is that that's what I meant.
So why would they be offended if I put my people first? If I start my own business and hire nothing but black people, how does that affect you?
Y se lo creyeron antes que no me vieron.
What's that?
I would agree with you.
But I'm saying though, that's what you guys do, right?
I mean, I'm not like I said.
Listen, your people. I represent my people.
Right about a lot of,
You're representing your people, regardless of how you think about them. What's that?
A lot of stigmas and things you're saying are true.
It's a fact. Like I said, the white man runs the world. Would you agree? So how they get control of the world? By putting themselves first, right? And then what? We gonna come with a plan together, execute the plan, and then put plans in place after we conquer everybody to maintain that power. Correct?
Right.
So that's what we're teaching. Same thing. Our people got to come together, create a plan. The plan is out of the Bible, the God of the Bible. We are the people in the book. That's a main objective we're teaching. We are the people of the book that are prophesied about.
Are you willing to work with the white man that's not, you know, for only maybe to further you guys' agenda?
How would they help us?
Well,
Why aren't they doing it already?
White men like me that don't believe in, you know, the white man, you know, getting everything. I don't.
How would you further our claim?
Somebody who could help me.
How?
No se creyeron. La corona se la quisieron.
We talked to a couple, not a couple, but 2 white women a few weeks ago, and I said, she asked me, what's basically the number one bad thing that's going on in the earth? I told her white supremacy. What would you say? I'm gonna tell you what she said. She told me global warming. But I told her, wait a minute. Global warming doesn't affect anybody if you're not thinking about it.
I'd say hopelessness and, you know.
Okay, that's a plight of multiple people, but there's not, like I said, if you're not homeless, you're not necessarily thinking about it. There's plenty of people that are concerned about the homeless, but guess what? There's no real jurisdictional execution of law being focused on them. They're actually kicking them out of places. There's a whole Skid Row in LA where there's blocks of homeless people sleeping at night. They don't do nothing to help them.
I think the police, especially in other places, are quite, you know, I think that's a problem.
What? Police are police?
Yeah, the way they police.
As far as what? Killing black people and Hispanic people?
And furthermore, other ways.
But do you know the origin of police?
MC ha tomado el control. Porque aquel se cree en combate. Por eso.
But the origin of police, though. They were former slave catchers. Policing came out of slavery. When white people had to quote unquote free the slaves, that's when the first prisons were created. Jails. Jails weren't in America before slavery ended. You know why? Because they made up rules after the blacks got out the slave plantation. They didn't have nothing to do, nowhere to go, no food, no shelter, no jobs. So guess what? Hey, if you're loitering, you got to go to jail now. That's a new slavery. Exactly, the Baker Law, the 13th Amendment. So that's how you stay in power. So just to answer the question.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
yo. Fucking. Hey, so your father's Puerto Rican, right? What makes you identify as white, as Caucasian?
Just my knowledge that I am, you know, my family told me I'm white.
Your family, but your father though?
Yes.
Your father told you?
And my mother. I know my mother is white.
Your mother's white?
My father is, you can tell he's Puerto Rican, but you can tell he's not full blood.
What's your last name?
Keaton.
Keaton?
It's Irish.
That's your
Irish
adopted
Scottish.
name?
Huh?
That is adopted name?
No, that's my mother's.
What's your father's name?
Chico.
That's his adopted name, though, right?
I'm not sure.
Would you say Chico?
Chico.
Yes,
He's Puerto Rican,
baby.
dude.
Tranquilo, baby.
That's a Puerto Rican man. His father's a Puerto Rican man. But that's it. It's like Keating from
Porque yo le doy abrigo a quien quiera.
Keating is
Para que
definitely.
ellos crean en su manera.
Now you ask us why should we focus on ourselves? Like anybody that has problems will always focus on in-house problems first, right? To address everything else. Right. So that's why we address our problems, man. Right? So that's why we focus on ourselves. That's why we got to teach our people to love each other before because for the last 300-400 years we've been loving the goddamn white man. And what had they repaid us, man? Right. What did they do to the land? What did they do to the island of Puerto Rico, man? Right?
I mean, if you see it that way, yeah. I mean, maybe just.
But that's what I'm saying, though. We can't just see it that way. We're viewing it as a known fact of history, and then hundreds of years later, it's still happening.
I wouldn't say loving the white man, but maybe abiding.
Oh no, we definitely don't love the white man ever. We're done with loving everybody else.
Because our people got a problem with that, man. Right? we're so quick to acquit the white man for everything and all the atrocities they have done. We're quick to put holes in each other for the smallest thing. So we're done with that.
I totally agree. Yeah, I just, are you guys against having, so you guys are against all white?
Absolutely.
Right.
There are sworn enemies. Like just history itself tells you that.
But what about people like me that agree with?
Listen, we would have to question your lineage because you believe in the Bible?
Yeah.
You believe in the Bible?
Yeah.
You've been in church, you learn about okay, great.
I mean, not usually, but
Yeah, you're just familiar with it, you believe in it. So give me that first and then give me that numbers. This is why we teach what we teach and we question people's lineages. Because in the Bible, there's certain people that are sworn to or prophesied about a judgment. There's certain people that are going to be saved. So everybody's not going to be saved. There's other nations that have a particular judgment coming in the future. So if you're one of those people that are pronounced judgment against, we're going to tell you. But first, if we don't know your lineage, we're going to talk to you, okay, we can go either way with you. But if you say you're white, then that's the worst thing you can tell us, honestly. Go ahead.
This is Zephaniah 2:1. Gather yourselves together, yet gather together, O nation not desired.
This is talking about the nation of Israel, the Israelites. And we believe the Israelites today are in America, the Americas, quote unquote, Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. There's plenty of artifacts in America that came by the Native Americans, the Hispanics, that were written in Hebrew. Where'd that come from? Because they're Hebrew Israelites that were scattered thousands of years ago. And the quote unquote Negro today are from the 12 tribes of Israel as well. But just besides the point, we got to come together because we're a nation not desired. The Heavenly Father, the creator of heaven and earth, has a spiritual curse on his own people. From way back in the day till now, till today. And that's how you're going to recognize who the children of God are, by the curses. By us rape, robbing, murdering each other. Selling drugs with each other, not caring about each other. That's a curse in the Bible. So our message is, hey, come back to your nationality. If you are of one of these lineages, like if you're Puerto Rican, in actuality, you be of one of the 12 tribes. Or if you claim to be a quote-unquote Caucasian, you'll be an enemy of God. That's why we have to determine that. So you're telling me your dad was adopted, which is not necessarily all Israelites are adopted, but that is a trait or a curse in the Bible. I'm sorry? Give me Deuteronomy 25.
Right.
Of course it is. Obviously, a white man is a modern term, but do the history and prophecy. Give me Malachi. Do history and prophecy. Actually, no, give me Genesis first. You know, 125.
Oh, he's going to
No, I want to Deuteronomy 25. So, do history and prophecy, and obviously, there's historical facts that prove who the white man is. You familiar with Alexander?
Yeah.
Alexander the Great. You heard about him, right? He was the first, most prominent white man on earth back in, 300 BC. The first Greek king, you know? But give me Philip Macedon first, actually. And let me just prove that to you. We don't have to go too far, but let me just get this real quick. What's that? I hear you. Of course, we don't get paid for this. We're commanded by God to come out here, though.
Right.
And we care about our people enough and love our people enough to come out here in the front lines, rain, sleet, or snow, whatever the case may be. People threaten us. People get locked up for this. I think you mentioned it before. Like the government literally has this listed as future terrorists to preach the Bible like this.
You guys come in contact with people like me, kind of just like question why, the white man can't.
Of course. Yeah.
Stand next to you.
Absolutely. What's that?
That's constant. You guys have that?
I hear you.
That's constant.
I mean, it depends. Like I said, people have their own ideology. Some people don't. Some people just want to hear what we say. Some people don't believe in the Bible. That's
Viejo, ella estuvo. Ella estuvo.
Hey, bro. Yeah, try not to touch.
That nigga just drunk his drink. Anyways, what's we got?
I got about 5 minutes to tell you guys.
Yeah, it's all good. Give me that first.
I got Philip.
Yeah, give me that.
All right, this is Philip, which is the father of Alexander, Philip II of Macedon, right? was the king Basileus of the kingdom of Macedon from 359 BC until his assassination in 336.
Give me first Samuel 15.
336 BC. He was a member of the Argaid dynasty.
Argaid dynasty. So we're gonna go back to the history of the Argaid dynasty. That's where Philip of Macedon came from. And Alexander was white, right? So his father's white. So let's see about his lineage. Go ahead.
So the Argaid dynasty was an ancient Macedonian royal house of the Dorian Greek province. They were the founders in the ruling dynasty of the kingdom of Macedon from about 700 to 310 BC. Its parent house.
His parent house, where he comes from, his lineage, read?
Temenus.
Temenus. Temenus.
Yeah.
Now let's go to the Bible and see what they get this from. Give me that in Genesis. Temen, yeah, give me Genesis 36. And then we're going to go to the precepts as well.
Genesis 36 and 11. Let me start 10. These are the sons of Esau.
These are the sons of Esau. Read.
Eliphaz, the son of Adah, wife of Esau.
Read.
Ruel, son of Beshemath, the wife of Esau.
Read.
The sons of Eliphaz were Teman.
Teman. You hear that? So, Philip of Macedon, his parent company was Temenus. In the Bible, Esau's son was Teman. That's where he comes from, which is a quote-unquote Edomite today. So we call Edomites white people. Those are the original white people of the earth. Go ahead.
This is 1 Samuel 15 and 8. And he took Agag.
Agag, read.
The king of the Amalekites.
Amalekites. Amalekite is, actually, no, get that Amalek. Go back to that same chapter. Amalek. Let's see who Amalek is. Read that again.
Con. It says, and he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites,
King of the Amalekites, read.
alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword.
So this is King Saul, or excuse me, who is this? 15? Saul. Yeah, Saul. He was basically, God told him to kill all the Amalekites, but he didn't kill them all. So he got punished for it, but that's not the point. It's talking about Amalek though. Agag, read.
Genesis 36 and 12. And Timnah was a concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she bare to Eliphaz Amalek.
Amalek. Amalek is an Edomite as well. Esau. Go, give me that in Esther. 3 and 1. It didn't give me resistance to Esther 16.
Esther 3 and 1. After these things, did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Amadatha, the Agagite.
The Agagite, which is a sub-tribe of Esau as well, read.
And advanced him and set his seat above all princes that were above that were with him.
So Edomites, Amalekites, Temanites, Agagites are all Edomites, Esau. What we claim as white people. We don't get into it. Read that.
Right.
Give me Maccabees. 1 and 1.
Editions of Esther 16 and 10.
Read.
For Ammon, the Macedonian.
Wait a minute. Ammon, they called Ammon an Agagite in the other chapter. But it's calling him a Macedonian here. So what does that mean? It is called Philip of Macedon, the Temanite. So that is history and the Bible paired itself together, proving that the Edomites are white people.
Right.
So this is a white man in the Bible. This when they was trying to kill us, obviously, in the Medial Persian captivity. But keep reading.
God. It says the son of Amadatha, being indeed a stranger from Persian blood.
So the Agagites are Edomites. Go ahead. Let's read about Alexander in the Bible.
First Maccabees 1 and 1, and it happened that after Alexander, son of Philip,
son of Philip of Macedon, read.
The Macedonian, who came out the land of Kittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
The first over Greece. Alexander the Greek is a white man. He comes from Philip of Macedon, which is another white man, and they're all Edomites, right there in the Bible. So the white man is Esau in the Bible. Give me that last one. Malachi. And then give me Obadiah.
Malachi 1 and 2. I had loved you, saith the Lord. Yet you say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother?
Read.
Saith the Lord.
Uh-huh.
Yet I love Jacob.
I love Jacob. Jacob is the forefather of the Israelites, the 12 tribes. Read.
And I hated Esau.
God hates Esau. So God hates white people. That's straight up and down in the Bible. Give me Romans. Give me that.
You don't think it'd be, like it couldn't further your agenda
Actually, no.
more to
Keep
work
reading
with,
that.
Everybody who saw like the same, maybe agenda could work together?
What do you mean?
Just as any race?
Work together how though?
Like I think that race, when I first said something, I think that race shouldn't be the focus. I think that.
But that's just reality though. Like listen,
Right, but that doesn't-
listen.
Accomplishing anything.
What do you mean? It's listen.
It accomplished something for the white man.
That's what I told her. That's what that
It
for.
doesn't have to be about me gaining money or.
Listen, that's irrelevant.
Everybody's getting further in life.
Listen, you went to high school, right? In high school, more than likely you sat with people that look like you, right? Of course you did. So why is it a problem now?
No, I'm saying.
But that's natural though. White people want to be with white people, Asians with Asians, blacks with blacks, Hispanics with Hispanics. That's just common sense.
I think that
You saying it doesn't have to be a race thing, but it's natural.
never going to be out.
And that's the same reason why the white man's in power, because they can put all their ideology to the side, come together, and oppress everybody else. That's what they did.
Well, I appreciate you guys talking to me today.
Exactly. Just like the animal kingdom. Lions can't sit with hyenas. They're enemies, period. And that's how God sees it. Give me that in Sirach. I think it's 14.
I appreciate you guys sharing. You guys.
Yeah, man. If you're an Israelite, hey, repent. If you're not, prepare for slavery, man.
Right.
Just to touch on that, the white man will put all their shit aside
13.
to get they'll
Yeah.
put all their shit to the side for a common cause. Like in World War II, when the Allied forces would catch a German officer, he could sit in a German.
Chill out.
It's cool. He could sit. Look, he was allowed to sit to enter the officer's dining.
Yeah,
With the other white officers.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because they're all white.
Exactly.
And they understood that.
Facts. You got something? Yeah, give me that.
This is Sirach 13 and 15. Every beast loveth his like.
Every beef love is like, what does that mean? A lion with a lion, a lamb with a lamb, wolf with a wolf, birds with birds, a certain type of birds. Birds of prey, and obviously there's other birds, but that's what he's talking about, read.
And every man loveth his neighbor.
Every man loves his neighbor. Our neighbor are the Israelites, period. Not no white men. We can never come together with white men. There's coons that might do it, collaborators. Idiots that believe in Christianity, which the white man taught. Well, we don't believe in that no more. We came out of that, we woke up. We realized what's happening. We can be cordial to you, but we'll never accept you into our congregation no more. We're not the other camps, man. Or one camp in particular. Go ahead.
All flesh consorteth according to kind.
Every flesh consorts according to kind. What does that mean? It's the same thing. People that, like, we're in San Francisco. I'm not going to hang out with no goddamn homosexual, man. Period. They going to hang out with each other. They go to Castro.
Right.
That's where they hang out at. Let them do them. Obviously, if an Israelite, I have to tell them to repent, but I'm not going to go there trying to be buddy-buddy with them, man. That's ridiculous. Go ahead.
And a man will cleave to his like.
This man going to cling to his life. Read.
What fellowship hath the wolf with the lamb?
What fellows had the wolf with the lamb? How are they gonna mingle together? They're sworn enemies. They're gonna eat. A wolf gonna eat them. Read.
So the sinner with the godly.
So they're sinning with the godly. Period. That's how it works. We gotta separate from our own people sometimes. They don't have our best interests at heart. Even though we want them to come together in the long run, but hey, the Most High gonna see fit to come to His walk as the Most High ordains it. Go ahead.
What agreement is there between the hyena and the dog?
How does that work? A hyena will bite a dog's head off for real. Their bite force is way heavier than the dogs. But that's supposed to show that everybody doesn't belong together. Read.
And what peace between the rich and the poor?
Exactly. The white man's rich. The Israelites are poor for the most part. We can't be collaborating together, man. Give me that.
Con, as the wild ass is the lion's prey in the wilderness,
Uh-huh.
so the rich eat up the poor.
The rich eat up the poor. That's how the white man stays in power. Everything that he owns is because of his military right and his money. That's how it works, man. We have no type of common ground other than we live in the same country. That's it. And we both breathe the same air. That's it, man. That's all we gotta say. Why is there a problem with only wanting to be amongst each other?
Right.
That's what caused COINTELPRO. Because the white man didn't know what was going on. We was getting so powerful and influential speakers and leaders. They was like, oh, we gotta break that up. That's what Edgar Hoover said. We gotta prevent a black messiah, man. That's not talking about Yahweh, just talking about somebody that's going to unite the quote-unquote black and brown people. Kind of how Marcus Garvey did it. They had to send Marcus Garvey out and divided the state.